well, their great friendship that they still hold to this day. Because Johnny Depp has been in a lot of Why, hello there YouTube and welcome to 31, so we're on day 4 now, and day 4 of Vincent Price Week, and today I am reviewing the classic Edward Scissorhands. Now, is this horror? Well, it's got horror elements. It features the horror icon Vincent Price, but I find it's more of a romantic fantasy-like drama, but definitely has the spirit of Halloween in it, and Christmas. So this, basically, if you should know the story, an elderly woman tells her granddaughter the story of Edward Scissorhands and about how he fell in love with a young woman named Kim, who is the older woman, played by Wynonna Ryder, and Edward Scissorhands played by Johnny Depp, and basically he gets taken in by a suburban family after an estate agent woman, Peggy Boggs, takes him in, and he at first takes the neighbourhood by storm with his talents of hedge trimming and hair cutting and ice sculpting, and Kim, played by Wynonna Ryder, starts to fall for him, and then there's her jealous boyfriend Jimmy, who again doesn't like this friendship between them, and eventually some romance does form between them, and then next thing he gets an angry mob after them, and then in a dispute he gets killed, Jim, and then she tells the town that they killed each other because she realises that he wishes to be left alone and never sees him again, and would rather that he remember her as she was. And of course there is the inventor, played by Vincent Price, who sort of created him and gave him those scissor hands, but then in one scene which is beautifully made but at the same time heartbreaking, he dies in front of him from heart attack and what have you, and it's a sad scene. So that's pretty much the whole story there. So what did I like? Well, I like this film. This was the first ever film done by to have Johnny Depp and Tim Burton collab, and this was the start of, well, their great friendship that they still hold to this day, because Johnny Depp has been in a lot of Tim Burton films since. And I've got to say, I didn't recognise Johnny Depp in this. I had no idea it was him when I first saw it all those years ago. I was 10 when I first watched this, because this film is a PG, and I would say probably a family film. I mean, in 31 I always try and at least do 1 or 2 films that are family friendly, that are horror related. So yeah, the makeup on Johnny Depp looks really good, and the scissor hands, how he wore them, it's just, yeah, he put up a good fight. Well, this wasn't his first role in a movie, but this, I would say, is the first film that put him on the map, that made him big. Also Wynonna Ryder as well, she's young and beautiful and does a great supporting role in this, and I liked her performance too, especially the aging makeup effects. And of course then there's Vincent Price that features as the inventor. Now this was his final film, because 3 years later in '93 he died. So knowing that that is Vincent Price's last film is again quite sad. Even his character, the inventor's death, is a sad moment when he gives Edward real, proper hands, and he can't give them to. He ends up not being able to do it because he dies in front of him. That is a really sad and powerful scene there, and that has stayed with me for the longest time. And seeing that final performance, it's like watching, well, it pretty much is the end of Price's career there, because like I say, this was his final film. And also you can see that he's, pretty much worn out. He's, wearing thin, and he's getting, I believe starting to get ill around that time. I never really looked into Price's death much, but I can probably see why this was his last film. But a great final performance from him, and I can't forget the good gothic setting and the cinematography, and the holiday settings we get, like Halloween and Christmas, especially the Christmas scenes when he makes winter sculptures with his scissor hands. But I can't forget the score done by Danny Elfman. Again, when it comes to making a Tim Burton film, Tim Burton to direct it, and Johnny Depp starring it, and Danny Elfman to score it. Danny Elfman's score is just so beautiful in this. Such a beautifully made film. I love the score and the soundtrack. It gets me all emotional. And I don't just watch this whenever, I watch it around Halloween and Christmas. It's pretty much like The Nightmare Before Christmas. I find that like Tim Burton seems to really like those holidays, Halloween and Christmas. But Edward Scissorhands is a great film, and I do enjoy it. And Vincent Price's final performance is just spot on. And you can watch this on Disney Plus, because it was done by 20th Century Fox, and of course they merged, so it's on Disney Plus. So you can watch it on there, and I do recommend it to anyone who is a Johnny Depp, Tim Burton fan, because yeah, it's a classic, and I've never grown tired of watching it. And this film has even gone on to be adapted into a ballet as well. And like I say, it's a great film. And I actually do like the fantasy and the drama in there, and the gothic tones. So what am I going to rate this one? You know what? The hell with it. I'm giving it 5 stabs out of 5 because it's timeless. 5 stabs out of 5 for Edward Scissorhands. So there you go. There is day 5 and the 5th day of Vincent Price Week. So, have you seen this one? Let me know down in the comments below if you have. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up and share with your friends. And I will see you tomorrow. When we've got 4 more days of this week because of how Halloween has fallen. Well, October has started this year. What on the days it's fallen on. But yeah, I will see you tomorrow. So until next time, don't have nightmares.